What if you knew there was a drug that could save your child's life, but the price tag could bankrupt you? In tonight's Insight Report, the life and death debate over the cost of what some are calling a miracle drug. Brothers teasing, laughing, and playing ball. A scene Esther and Justin Jensen weren't sure they'd ever see.
As they started to explain the disease and I started realizing, maybe you should take over. But I started realizing it was something where he's never gonna get better, and he's actually gonna get worse.
That was 5 years ago when the Jensen's son Tanner had just been diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA. The genetically transmitted disease destroys neurons in the spinal cord that control the body's movement. In its worst form, SMA can shut down breathing and swallowing, killing its victims before age 2.
Kind of have to grieve the life that you thought you were going to have.
But Esther wasn't about to give up.
She started looking at clinical trials. She started looking at everything she could to find out how are we going to help him to succeed in life.
By early 2014, Tanner was part of a clinical trial at the U of U, receiving an experimental drug called Spinraza.
Fingers crossed that it was going to be something that was going to help him.
Turns out Spinraza was somewhat of a miracle worker, reversing some of the debilitating effects of SMA.
To be able to walk in a walker, we have seen the capabilities completely come back, and then more on top of that as he grows.
This has been a revolution, a point of a real inflection in the course of what previously was an absolutely tragic children's disease.
Spinraza got FDA approval last December and a price tag, $125,000 per dose. The drug is injected into the spinal cord anywhere from 3 to 6 times a year. So in many cases, the costs add up to $1 million a year for a lifetime.
These are an interesting intersection of challenges that we didn't have 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Try to wrap our head around the cost, and it's just so high that it creates a huge disruption, not just to us as providers for neuromuscular care, but to the whole medical system.
The Jensens now have 2 children on Spinraza. Youngest son Skylar also has SMA. The boys are part of continuing trials, so the family's fortunate not to have to pay for the drugs.
So it is scary when you hear the high cost. You think, wow, is this actually going to be available now that this miracle has occurred, that this treatment is here? Is it going to now even be accessible?
1 in every 10,000 babies born in the U.S. each year has SMA. Spinraza manufacturer Biogen tells KSL that no family should go without treatment due to lack of money or insurance. So the company has created the SMA 360 program to help families find treatment, insurance, and financial assistance.
But it makes me
It's a complex issue to navigate, but it won't stop Utah doctors from saving lives.
It doesn't deter us at all. I mean, this is why we're here. This is what we wanted, and this will change the face of SMA.
The U and Primary Children's Hospital have also conducted Spinraza trials on infants with SMA, and they have yet to show signs of the disease. Those results are very encouraging, with the babies meeting developmental milestones like sitting, rolling over, and even walking. But still, that price tag is just hard to comprehend.